One of the best days of my life happened on April 12, 2014. This particular day was the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books. The Festival of Books is an annual convention that hosts authors of different genres and panels in which these authors are able to express themselves. I know it sounds nerdy, and it honestly really is. But hey, I love to read books, and I think that these authors deserve some of my appreciation. I went with my younger sister and my aunt, who drove us almost 4 hours to the University of Southern California, where the festival was being held. We mainly went to see the panels dealing with young adult fiction or YA fiction, and hopefully get our stacks of books signed by some of our favorite authors. As we entered the festival, we were immediately drawn in by a panel of authors that included one of our favorites, Ransom Riggs. This panel is about science fiction and how it has permeated our culture today. When it was Ransom's turn to speak, he talked about how his writing was influenced by reading and being able to meet Ray Bradbury, who is my all-time favorite sci-fi author. It was great to see how older generations of authors inspired today's authors to write even more amazing works of fiction. After that panel, we headed to an indoor panel that had two of YA's greatest fantasy/dystopian authors, Leigh Bardugo, who wrote the Shadow and Bone series, and Veronica Roth, who wrote the Divergent series. Unfortunately, my aunt and sister wanted to go see another panel that had Stephen Chbosky, who's the author of The Perks of Being a Wallflower, right in the middle of this panel. But since I didn't have Perks in my stack of books to be signed, I opted out of the Chbosky panel and got my copies of Leigh Bardugo's books signed. To the detriment of my aunt and sister, the Chbosky panel wasn't too great, and they weren't able to get their copies signed. So after a very quick lunch, we got in line to see my favorite YA author, John Green, talk about what inspired him to write his books and how he is able to tap into the emotions of teenage readers so easily. Not too many people know this, but John and his brother Hank have a channel on YouTube called Vlogbrothers that they have been running since 2007. I became a fan of Vlogbrothers after my aunt gave me a copy of The Fault in Our Stars on my birthday of that year. So I was doubly excited to see John talk about what influenced him to write these amazing books. And I was not disappointed. John Green is gifted in that he is able to talk and connect with people just as much as he can write and connect with people. Once the discussion was closing up, we decided to leave early to get in line for the book signing with John. Of course, many other fans had the same idea, and once we got out of the auditorium, the line was fully wrapped around the building. We didn't have another panel scheduled until later that afternoon, so we knew we would have enough time to get our books signed and see the last panel in time. What we did not expect was a 3.5-hour wait just to have John Green sign his name on our books. But we did it. We waited 3.5 hours to meet John and get our picture with him. My sister and I were so ecstatic. We told him of our love for his YouTube channel, and he told us it was nice to meet nerdfighters in California. By the way, a nerdfighter is someone who follows Vlogbrothers. So, he signed our books and it was over. 3.5 hours for about 30 seconds with John, but it was totally and completely worth it. We were even lucky enough to see our last scheduled panel with Sandra Cisneros and wait in a much shorter line to get our copies of The House on Mango Street signed by her. All in all, it was a very successful and inspirational day for our little group, and we made it out with almost our full stack of books signed. I know that I will cherish that day for my entire life and pass those books on to those who might enjoy them just as much as I do.